My name is Emma. I am a customer success associate for Leadstar. I'm going to kind of lead our presentation today. I also have Megan here. She is new to our team. She's also a customer success associate, and she will actually be kind of Pinnacle's contact moving forward after she's all the way through training and everything like that. So a lot of you guys will be getting into contact with her during AEP as well. So the two of us are here today. Yeah.
And also real quick, guys,
Yes.
housekeeping notes too. Just want to mention this is being recorded, so anyone on the call, if you have to hop off, we know it's 2 days before AEP. You will actually get an email with the link to the recording within 24 hours. The other thing that I always get asked is why am I on mute? And I don't know about you guys, but I've done a lot of webinars where they don't do that, and you hear babies crying, dogs barking, garage doors. I mean, you hear some weird stuff because I don't know. I guess people do these all over the place. So that does not mean you can't ask questions. There's a question box. Feel free to ask us questions throughout the presentation. I will try to answer things as I see them come through. If it's something I can't answer or I don't know for sure, I will kick that question over to Megan and Emma for you. And with that being said, take it away.
Awesome. So I have a short presentation for you guys to talk about some of the platform enhancements and some of the new things that are changing on our platform. I know a lot of you used our old platform, but we're really excited about all of the new stuff. So this presentation is going to kind of go over a lot of that stuff. And then after that, I'll hop over to a demo of the platform to show you guys like in live time what it looks like and how to use it and how to register. And then if you guys have further questions after that, like you said, feel free to ask questions throughout, or we can also answer more questions at the end too if you guys have longer questions. So with that, I'll get started here. I'm already sharing my screen for you guys, so hopefully everyone can see it. First, I wanted to start by talking about some platform enhancements that have been made to the new platform. So we're really excited about the new platform because of a variety of things that we didn't have before that have been added. So just a basic breakdown, we'll go over more details later, but some of those basic things include a complete dialer situation, AI compliance monitoring, a smart wallet, a lot of things to track your measurable actions and your statistics, and preferred pricing. So a lot of those prices have gone down as well. Perfect. So first on the complete dialer solution, we're really excited to offer this. One of the major things that we didn't have before that a lot of people would have liked to use is a dialer to be able to call out to leads. So before you could call in, but you weren't able to outbound dial at all. Now you're able to do both. So calls can go both ways through the platform. We also have all of the call recordings recorded and stored forever on the platform. You can play them back as often as you'd like. You can download them. So that's always there for you. Optimized disposition reporting. We have a lot of disposition options. It kind of filters it on the new platform into 3 categories. So instead of just a general list of dispositions, you can sort it by success, recycle, or trash. That way it'll make it easier for you when you want to go back later and look at your leads to decide what might be salvageable. Every lead's not going to work out, but maybe that will help you discern what could be used again, or where there's another opportunity. There's also smart routing technology in the new platform that's based off of your sales history and wait times. Another really cool thing that we have is that when you create your account, it'll ask you some additional questions like your birthday, if you are a veteran, the state or city that you live in, and the state or city that you grew up in, your hometown. So we'll use those things along with wait times and a lot of other stuff to route the calls. So that is exciting. And then 30-day call exclusivity. This is a really cool feature, again, that we didn't have before. So with the 30-day call exclusivity, when you get a call or you buy a lead, Say they call back again in 5 days or 10 days, maybe they decide they're not happy with the new plan that they switched to or anything like that, they'll be directed right back to you on the platform at no cost to you. So for 30 days, when that number comes in again, they'll be routed back to you again and again and again. All of our leads are exclusive anyway, but this is even further than being exclusive. It's exclusive to you every time it becomes a lead for 30 days. So we're really excited about that capability as well. The AI compliance monitoring, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this already or have looked at this part of the platform if you've created your accounts, but it is super all-encompassing, very detailed on everything that you have to be compliant. So on every successful call, you'll get a score and a report of how you handled the compliance requirements for that call and additional things on the call as well. And so AI will actually transcribe your call, and it will take that and compare it to exactly what has to be said per CMS, and give you a score back. So this isn't to be sent to the carriers or anything like that. It's just a tool for you so that you can be confident and sure that you're being compliant with your calls and with your leads. So for example, you might get done with your call and have like a 50% on the SOA. That's telling you, hey, maybe you did get part of the SOA, but you're definitely missing something there that's important. So from there, you can always listen to your calls again, or there's a little book icon next to the score on the platform. You can click on that and you can see all of the exact requirements. It'll script out exactly what has to be said per CMS so that you can review and hopefully get a better score next time. So there's a ton of education that's included and attached to this, again, customized to the specific topic that you're looking at. And scalable monitoring, right? So you can view your scores by call. You can view it in general. You can view like your compliance score for the last 7 days or the last month. So that stuff is all really cool. Again, it's just an additional feature that's there to help you be successful and be compliant. Next, I'll talk a little bit about the Smart Wallet. So the Smart Wallet gives you full marketing budget control. We can distribute your funding by carrier, by lead type, or by performance. Oops. So if any of you guys have like your own agencies or downlines, you can tell us specifically what type of leads you'd like to fund. If you'd like to fund maybe your downline agents for just data leads or just calls, you can do that and have the ability to really customize it. You can also do like capping limits by performance. So you can keep funding them if their CPA is like under $200 or whatever you pick. And then promotional opportunity, you also have the opportunity to set like a time limit on the funding or to fund a certain percentage of the lead. So to fund like 50% or whatever you would like. Measurable actions. This is something that was really important to us when developing the new platform as a tool that you could see really in real time for the agent level and for the agency level, exactly what's going on with the platform and exactly how you're performing. So you can monitor performance as it happens. You'll have a constantly updating cost per sale in the platform that you'll always be able to view. Custom dashboard specific to your needs. You can see a ton of statistics on how you've been doing. All of those are customizable by, today, yesterday, this past 7 days, the past 30 days, or all time, and real-time analytics on platform activity and lead performance. So if you guys haven't logged in yet, I'll go over how to do that, but there is a ton of information on the platform and a ton of statistics you can look at to see how you've been doing. So all of the details are laid out for you. Preferred pricing. Our prices have gone down quite a bit with the new platform. So that's obviously something everyone's excited about. Everyone wants cheaper leads. So we're able to use Enroll here as national scale and their large buying power for price negotiation and for volume. And so our leads now on the new platform are discounted up to 64% off of the previous prices. And they're super competitive in the market. And the lead catalog is curated exclusively to us at Leadstar. So everything that we have has been okayed by compliance at AmeriLife. And so we have a really tight rein on all of the leads that are coming through. And then here we have a page that has just some of those general prices. So you can see on the left side, the cost per lead. And then on the right side, you can see the percent that's discounted from our old platform. So like a big one is our Medicare Advantage digital inbounds have gone down in price quite a bit, along with like the ACA inbound transfers, the ACA inbounds, the Medicare inbound transfers, calls in Spanish. So there's definitely some great discounts, and it makes it a little bit easier for everyone to be able to get in and have a piece of the pie. It's easier to get started for more people. Does anyone have questions on anything I have gone over already before I move over to that platform walkthrough?
So far, you're doing good.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Well, I'm going to move over to the platform. Can everyone see this page? Or Rob, are you able to see it?
Yep. Yeah, you're good on my
Perfect.
end.
Awesome. So here is what the platform will look like when you get started. Pinnacle has a specific link used to register for them. So the way that Leadstar works is that it is powered by Enroll Here's technology, but because you are a part of AmeriLife, you actually get a free seat fee on Leadstar. So we cover the cost of that part, and Pinnacle has an exclusive link that you can use to register with them to get that free seat fee. So definitely we can send it out in an email afterwards, or maybe drop it in the chat. But if you haven't registered already, you'll want to use that link specific to Pinnacle. Or if you had an account already in the past, I would encourage you to use the same email that you used for that previous account, because we moved over all of the recordings from your previous account, and all of your call records and everything like that will be here on the new one. So you'll want to use that same email. So every time you go to log in or sign up, in this case, you'll enter your email and then hit continue here, and it'll actually send you a link over to your email. It's super secure. You'll use that link that has like a sign in link, and you'll use that to actually sign in every time you do a new login to the platform. So from here for setup, it'll ask your first name, your last name, your NPN, and your phone number. And then again, if you use that link from Pinnacle, you won't need to select your team there. Next is the section to claim your number. So again, how I touched on earlier that the new platform can make inbound and outbound dials, you'll have to select a number for those calls to flow through in the platform. So most people like to pick like a local number to them. You can enter your area code up here in the prefix section, so the first 3 digits of your phone number, or you can search by an entire state if you'd like. If you ever decide that you don't like that number anymore, that you want a new one, you can always reach out to us and we can delete it and you can pick a new one. But it'll give you a bunch of options to pick from. So after you put in your prefix or your state, you'll hit search numbers, and then all of these will come up again with different areas. And when you make an outbound dial to leads using the platform, this is the number that they'll see on their phones of who is calling in. So once you've picked one and decided that's the one you like, you can hit claim number here on the right side, and then this will show you the number that you just chose. This next page is asking what you want to happen. If you give this number out to leads and they call you in with this number, this is so that you can decide what happens in that case if you're not available. So you can either transfer it to another number, whether that be like a cell number or a business number, or you can forward it to voicemail and type out a voicemail message so that they can hear. And this is just asking how many seconds it will try to connect to you at the dialer before it forwards to that other phone number or forwards to voicemail. And then you'll want to enter that number that you want it to forward here to in that second box here. Next, I'll have you tell us what states you'd like to receive your leads in. So if there are states that you're licensed in, but you don't want to take any leads in, you wouldn't want to add those here. These are just the states that you'd like to receive calls in. So there's a section for life and there's a section for Medicare and ACA. And if you click in there and add your states and search them up, it will look like this. Once you've added them in there, you can hit the little X on the right side to take any out. Or you can add any additional states, and you can also add these later as well. So no worries if you maybe add a state or decide that you don't want to take leads anymore in a state, you can always change that later. Next is the select queues page. Once again, this is always changeable later, but this is what it will look like when you get started to join queues. So just a little bit of a backstory or more information on this. On the old platform, we had all of the publishers and the vendors that were approved sending us calls. And if you were ready in a state ready to take a call, you would just get the very next call from them. We heard from a lot of agents that they wanted to have a little bit more control over who specifically they were buying their calls from or where they were getting them from. So the way that we designed this platform, you are able to tell us exactly where you want your calls to come from. So up here at the top, you can sort the queues by raw or screened. You can sort by product line or language. Right now, I'll sort by Medicare Advantage, and it will show you all of the Medicare Advantage queue options. So there are quite a few that will be available to you within the platform. And the difference between all of these, like A, B, C, D, is that they're all different vendors, like I said. So we recommend joining at least like 3 to 5 queues, especially if you're only licensed in a few states. The more queues that you join, the better, just so that you can receive appropriate volume. Over here, it'll tell you for each specific queue if it's a raw call or if it's a screened call. Again, it's for Medicare Advantage and it's going to be in English, and then it'll have the price of the call and the duration here. If you decide that you want to get more information about this queue, you can hit join queue and this box will pop up. Here in the notes category, we'll have specific notes about how those specific calls from that queue are generated. And then down here under required links, there will be example ad pieces that those vendors are using to create those leads. So all of that is visible to you where it wasn't before. So you can see, again, like exactly where your calls are coming from and notes about exactly how they're being generated. Again, the cost will be over here. I'll go over call cap and delay settings later. I would recommend leaving those off to start, and then later if you want to turn them on, that's a good option. So after you've joined at least one queue, it'll let you move forward, or you can skip the queues at the bottom and then see the page with all of them later on once you're in the platform. It'll ask you to fund your account, so you can enter how much you'd like to fund it with or another amount here. If you already have funding or you have co-op or anything like that, there's also a skip button that will be here, so you can skip this page if you don't want to add new funds. After you hit add funds, it'll take you to the Stripe page to enter your card information and then hit pay. Next, it's going to ask if you want to receive any field appointments. These are for Medicare Advantage. The way these work is that a lead would call in and they would be directed to our call center, where they're in the call center, they'll ask if they have Medicare Parts A and B, and if they're looking for information or to speak with an agent about adding additional benefits onto their plan. And if so, they'll work with the call center representative to book the lead for an appointment at one of the times where our agents are available. So if you flip this on, you'll have to sync your calendar with us, because that's how we know if you're available to have an appointment or not. After that, you'll get the option to add exclusions. So if you have any like vacations, or maybe you have a week of work that you know is going to be like super busy with business you already have, you can add an exclusion for any reason. You can add as many of them as you want, and you'll just want to put the date when the exclusion starts and ends to not receive any appointments. On the left side here, you're able to actually customize what days specifically you want to receive the appointments, as well as times per day. So if you click on these arrows, you can totally up to you. If you want to, start later on Mondays, you could do that. If you want to take off Fridays, you can hit that X. Or if you want to add a weekend day, Saturdays, you can hit that plus sign and add that as a day you're available to receive appointments. The buffer time is the time in between each appointment. So it starts at 60 minutes, but if you need to make that longer, if you need more time in between appointments, or if you would like less time in between appointments, you can change that here. And then weekly appointments, this is just telling us how many appointments you'd like to receive per week. It's not a guarantee of receiving that many specifically. And then at the bottom, you'll want to add what zip codes you'd like to receive your appointments in. So obviously, the more zip codes that you add, the better. After you type out your zip code, you'll want to just hit enter and then save, and then that'll add it to your list. So again, the more zip codes, the better. I know on our old platform, it was by county. If you guys are looking for what zip codes exist within a specific county, I would honestly recommend Googling it or looking it up on ChatGPT, and then you can enter those zip codes in here. Next, this is what the homepage will look like on the dialer of the platform. So like I said earlier, there's this cool option to tell us more about yourself, and this helps us match you with leads who might have something in common to you. So it'll have you enter the city where you currently live, your hometown, your birthday, any languages that you may speak, and then your veteran status if you or a family member are a veteran. Once you're done with that, this is what the homepage will look like. You'll be able to see how many hours you've spent logged in, how many hours you've spent on the phone, your total wait time, how long you've been waiting for calls, how long you've been in that paused disposition, and then how long you've spent in wrap-up time. That's also known as the disposition page. So how long you've been sitting on that page choosing a disposition. When you're ready to start taking calls, you'll go up here to this yellow button, set status. It also might say offline when you start. Once you hit set status, you'll want to tell us you're available. You'll want to be careful to tell us you're available only when you really are sitting at your computer and ready to take calls. Calls on this platform come in automatically when you are available. So you can't like deny them or turn them down if you get them to come in while you're available. So like I said, you can pause it anytime if you're on another call or need to take a break. You can always pause, but I'll go available for now. And then this is what it looks like when your first call comes in. So here we'll be able to see the lead details on the left side. The phone number is attached here, and then you'll be able to enter additional information like their first and last name, maybe their email and their date of birth to all save in the system. You can also enter their address, any additional information you'd like to add there. And then on the right side, our carrier approved Medicare script is actually baked into the platform here. So you'll be able to click through the script while you're on the phone. If you guys are really strongly using the script, I would even recommend reviewing it beforehand or maybe having it out on a hard copy. And again, we can send that out after the call, or you can contact us and we can send it to you for sure. But yeah, the script will be super helpful for sure, especially if you guys are getting started on the platform and haven't used it before. Other features on this page, you can schedule a call back. Maybe the lead said they need more time to talk, or they want to think and whatever. So you can schedule a callback time in the platform, or at the top you can add a participant if you want to add a third person into the call, if you want to mute your microphone, or this is how you can leave the call or end the call for everyone. After you leave the call, it will take you to the disposition page. This is what I was referencing earlier. You can see the different categories here at the top: success, recycle, and trash. There are a ton of options, so you can easily decipher exactly what happened with that call. Once you've picked a disposition appropriate to to your call, you have two options here. You can save and go to available, or you can save and go to pause. If you want to take a break before your next call, you'll always want to save and go to pause, or if you're ready to go and hop on another call right away, you can save and go to available. Next, I'll head to the Agent Performance tab. Again, how I talked in the beginning about how there were so many real-time metrics about what was going on with your calls, you'll be able to see all of that here. So you'll be able to see a constant cost per sale. It'll tell you how many calls you had incoming, how many were connected, how many calls were billable, how many sales you've made on the platform so far, and also the time of how long you've spent logged in, waiting for a call, paused, and in that wrap-up time. And all of that will be down here as well. And at the top, that's where you can sort by this month, the last week, the last 30 days, 90 days, or custom, or all time. Back to the home page, under calls here on this left side, I'm going to go to call logs next. This is where you'll be able to see those recordings that are so important. So this is a really important page. Each of your calls that you've taken will be listed here. And if you click on this eye with the circle around it on the right side, this is where that disposition lives. So you can play it back here with the play button, or you can hit these three dots to download the call. So there's always that option as well. You can see the transcript from the call if you want to read it back. You can see if you were charged for the call, how much you were charged. And then if it was a successful call, you'll have a compliance summary for each call specifically down here as well. Speaking of compliance, I'll go to the compliance dashboard next. This is the really cool dashboard I was talking about. Now you can probably see a little bit more what I was referencing. Again, it's able to be sorted by date at the top. And then down here, it looks like your overall score for the compliance summary right now is a 95%. You can also see specific percentages for each section that's required. And then if you hit this book that's next to each one of these, that's where you can see specifically what exactly has to be said. You can also see it narrowed down by each specific call down here at the bottom. So it looks like on this call, this person got 100% on every category, which is very impressive if you guys are able to do that. They just missed something on that summary of benefits. So maybe you want to hit this book tab and read up on the summary of benefits, what has to be reviewed before your next call, and then you can see your total score here at the end. Again, this isn't going to carriers or anything like that. It's just for you to review so that you can be confident in yourself, make sure you're being compliant, and avoid any of those crazy fines if you weren't compliant. Next, I'll go to the appointments tab. If you opted into receiving any of those in-person Medicare appointments, this is where you'll see those. So this is where they will all live in the platform. If you hit this clipboard button, this is where you can set a disposition for that appointment. Again, super important so that you know how you're performing with the leads and that we know how our leads are performing. So there's a couple of choices there. And this little pencil button, you can add any notes about the appointment you'd like to add and update. Back on the home page, the next page I'll review is the queues page. I know I did briefly talk about this during registration, but I would honestly recommend getting familiar with where the queues page is here, because this is somewhere where you're probably going to be pretty often in the platform. So it looks like right now we're in one queue, digital inbound campaign 1. Over here on the right side, once we're in the queue, these options will pop up. So edit settings, or this white button over here, is what you can press to leave the queue. So if we hit edit settings, again, you'll be able to see those notes about the queue specifically and the required links. And then the call cap, like I touched on earlier, you can set a call cap, a simple one of just how many calls you'd like to receive per day from this queue, or you can set a dynamic call cap where you can set it like at a maximum CPA. So once you hit your CPA, once it goes over like 175, it'll automatically shut that queue off for you. Same thing with delay settings. I would start off with none of the delay settings on, but maybe over time, if you want to stay in queues 1, 2, 3, and 4, but you notice that maybe Q4 isn't your favorite and isn't performing as well as the other ones, but you still want it for the backup volume, you can set a delay on that queue. So you can set it however many seconds you'd like. Normally people do like 120 or maybe 240 or maybe even 90 seconds. So that we'll wait and see if you can get a call from one of your other queues first, and if not, you'll be sent a call from this queue. Again, you can join and leave queues at any time, depending on your performance. And if you want to join a new queue, you can always just hit join queue there. The campaigns tab here, this is where you can add a lead list or a list of people you'd like to dial out to. So lead settings, you can set a calling order or calling settings, a wait time in between calls if you need, and then lead list, this is where you would upload the list of people you'd like to call. And then agent settings, this is where a lot of things just live in the agent settings tab. So we have, again, your dialer number that you picked will be here. These settings you're able to change if you need. If you want to add or take away states, like I said, you can do that anytime. That's here in the agent settings tab. And then all of those field appointment settings are here as well. So if you want to add an exclusion or update your availability, anything like that, add additional zip codes, that'll all be in the agent settings tab, and you'll always want to hit that save button here at the bottom. I think that is it for me on the demo. I just wanted to open it up now to questions. If anyone has any questions at all or any concerns, definitely let us know. I can also drop our email in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, so one question that's coming from Andre was, can we filter Medicare Advantage leads by income?
So you're not able to filter by income on this platform, simply because we wouldn't have enough volume for it to be super specified by income. However, there are a few more specific campaigns. Like I know there's a DSNP specific campaign. So if you're looking for someone like in that core category, you could join that queue specifically. And if you're looking for things to be like super filtered by income, you also could look into Leadstar Direct, where we have direct mail leads. If you're interested in those are able to be filtered by a more specific income too.
Perfect. Mary had a question. What is a digital lead mean?
I think maybe she's talking about on the queues how it says digital inbound campaign. That just means that those leads have been generated online or digitally. So typically they're generated using like it could be like a social media platform, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any of those, or it can be like Google or Bing on a search engine. So that just means that those are generated digitally.
Perfect. Yeah, that was what they were looking for that.
Awesome. Perfect.
I don't think I see anything else. I'll give it another second here just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, I think we're good. Looks like you crushed it, which is
awesome.
I wouldn't expect anything less, Emma.
Awesome. Well, I think it looks like Megan dropped something in the chat. I'm not sure if everyone can see that. But our email address is leadstar@leadstarhub.com. So if anyone does think of any questions later, feel free to reach out to us anytime, or if you're looking for any material I mentioned or have any tech issues or anything that might come up at all, feel free to email us anytime. Again, it's Leadstar at leadstarhub.com. And then I think that's all I had today. I can turn it back over to Rob.
Someone was asking if they can have a copy of the presentation.
Yeah, sure. I can send that over to you, Rob, and then you can send it to them.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And then Mary had another question. Is there a 20-second lead before we are charged for the call?
So I think might be talking about like the duration on the calls. Most of our durations are 10 seconds on this platform. There are some for final expense that are set at 90 seconds just because those vendors didn't offer a 10-second option. So they might be 90 seconds at a little bit more of an expensive price. But for right now, we just have 10 seconds mostly.
Got a question from Michael. For an MAPD lead, where do you enter the info and visit the client and make the sale?
Is that like for an appointment lead or for like a call, do you think?
Yeah, Michael, you got to clarify on that. Are you talking about their little dashboard here, or I guess I'm a little confused as well.
Sorry.
No. It's okay. This fuels more questions, which is exactly what we want.
Yes.
All right, let's just Michael, you can reach out to us. We'd be happy to try to help you on that. Definitely want to thank everybody. I know it's a busy time. I had another question. Does this integrate with Health Sherpa?
We can integrate with a lot of CRMs. If you're wanting to integrate with a specific one, you can just send us over obviously your account information and then the information about the CRM you want to integrate with. And then I can forward that over to the tech team and we'll be able to let you know whether we can do that specific one. They do a lot of integrations with CRMs through webhooks, so we'll probably be able to integrate with yours.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, guys, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. And like I said, this is being recorded, so if you need to jump back and check it out. And look, have a great AEP. Obviously, the 15th is rapidly approaching. So let us know if there's anything that you need. And Emma, thank you so much. We really appreciate you and Megan for jumping on the call.
Thank you for having us, and thank you everyone for showing up and listening and attending. We do appreciate it.
Awesome. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you on the flip side.